What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of Spurs Philosophy. Really excited to be doing this video. You can expect a lot of Spurs content from this channel. We're gonna start off with ranking every Spurs player on a tiered system from S, A. I'm sure you guys have seen the scale before. We're going to go through all 15, I believe 16 players, a couple that are on two ways. Tried to get everybody, but just wanted to get this video out, so stay tuned. We're going to go ahead and just jump right into the content. As you may know, the Spurs are, as of today, November 18th, I believe they're 6-8. I'll have to double check that, sorry about that. But we are going to go ahead and start this part of the year with a video. We've had a couple of weeks to see how people have been responding to just being, in this year's environment. So we're excited to really showcase some of our highlights, and then, some that we are not so excited about. So we're gonna go ahead and just jump right into it. Here we have the tiered system, so we're just gonna kind of randomize it a little bit. I did just do some planning before this, so right off the bat, I'm just gonna kind of randomly pick and choose. Let's go with Tre Jones. So I believe Tre Jones is gonna be a B level player. I do believe that, really, if there's any player on the team that's future is truly uncertain, I would say it's Tre Jones. With the level of guard play that we have, and even though CP3 may not be here for very long, as of right now, and maybe even next year, who knows, that's a guard position that's filled. So Tre, you have been improving, I would say, but unless there's a big leap, I would say that your time in San Antonio is probably going to be ending sooner rather than later. And this is all based off of where I think the team is going, where they are currently, how pieces obviously fit our main piece of Victor Wembanyama. I don't want to stress Wemby is the Spurs and everything's going to go through him and everything's going to be successful through him, but he is the primary piece, if we're being honest, as Tim Duncan was, as David Robinson was. So we're excited about that. So next we're going to go with Julian Champagnie. I actually have him as an A. I believe Julian is extremely talented and a great shooter. I just think that he needs to continue to want it, hustle more. I think that with his body, with his skill set, he is made for today's NBA. I want him to stay with us. Obviously, each position on the tier list is assuming they're going to improve in every facet, and I believe if Julian improves, he will be crucial to being a true 3-and-D player for the Spurs. So excited for his future. Next, we're going to go with Sidy Cissoko. We're going to take it a little bit different. I have him as a B as well. I think Sidy has a lot of upside. We have not been able to see it as much right now because he has been on the bench majority of the season. But when his time has shown in the G League, in the Summer League, he has proven to be versatile. So I think with the way he's handling his body, I think he had said that he was going through a slump last year, physically and mentally. So I think that now that he's improving, visibly, he could be a key role. But of course, young, hasn't had a lot of minutes, still trying to prove himself. You really don't know where that's going to go, so that's why I have him as a B. But if he were to work out, man, think about the level of passing that would improve, the level of defensive physicality with the way his body is. So hoping that Sidy works out. Next, we're going to go with Mamu. So I think Mamu is also going to be at an A. I think that similar to Julian, he has a great shooting ability. Defensively, I think that he's never really going to be there, if I'm being honest with you. But just the fact that he complements Wemby so well with the outside shooting and just really, drives the team and thrives off of the juice, as they say, the nasty, as Pop would say. So I think that, Mamu is vital moving forward, and I hope to have him long term. I know he's not as young as all the other ones, but he's still relatively young, extremely young actually. So really excited for his future and upside. Next, we're going to go with Jeremy Sohan, and I would put him at the front of A. I don't have him at an S because I do think that Jeremy's always going to be the third, fourth, really the fourth and fourth option on an offensive team. But really, defensively, that is where he stands out. He is the glue guy. I firmly believe that he could be better than Draymond Green in terms of ability and in terms of just team commitment. You don't want to mess with Jeremy. I mean, he's not the biggest guy, he's not the strongest guy, but you just don't want to mess with him. So he's got that dog in him, you would say. So I think that Jeremy, moving forward, needs to be a crucial part alongside Wemby and alongside some others that you'll see. So next, we're going to go ahead and go with Victor Wembanyama. Obviously, with the future of the NBA and really basketball in general being in his court, we need to just really make sure that Wemby is down the path of improvement, down the path of winning. And I think that there's been some obstacles here and there, but he's really stood out to us in terms of his ability to really be one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time, 60, 70 years from now. So next we're going to go with Zach Collins. I have him as an F. Zach, man, it's been tough, man, but we appreciate your effort. We appreciate you doing things the right way, and of course the injuries have not helped at all, but it's been tough, man, and I think that your role has slowly diminished from, of course, being a starter next to Wemby to now being a reserve behind him. And I personally think that Zach Collins, his time has been tremendous for us and a valiant effort, but parting ways would be, in my opinion, the best situation for him and for the Spurs soon. Next, we're going to go with Devin Vassell. I have him as an A, and I would move him forward, but I truly think that Devin, has a little bit more to prove. And I know that might be controversial to some of you guys, Spurs fans, but I just haven't seen it yet. I've seen the 30-point games. I've seen the 12 for 15 shooting. I've seen it, but when is Devin going to be the guy? Well, we have Wemby. How can he be the guy? Devin, Pippen was the guy next to Jordan. I know Jordan was the guy, but Pippen was the other guy. You need to be the other guy. All right, next we're going to go with Keldon Johnson. I have Keldon, unfortunately, at a D, and I say that because he has been the epitome of a Spurs-spirited player. However, his skill set, his physical ability, in my opinion, we've seen his ceiling. I think that he's going to be a crucial trade piece, so I do hope that he plays successfully. But I personally do not see Keldon finishing the season or going beyond next year if he's still with us in the summer. Maybe a draft move, a draft day move. Next, we're going to go with Charles Bassey. I also have him as a D. Charles has had some injuries. He just hasn't really had the ability to get some solid playing time for us. I hope for the best. I hope that he can become someone that plays well next to Wemby because I've seen it before. But just given the circumstances and just given the reality of where he's at physically, the upside is not what it is with others. Next, we're going to go with Malachi Branham. I think that Malachi is in that area of uncertainty with the Spurs. Obviously, his offensive ability is tremendous. He can actually create his own shot, which, given that Wemby, Chris Paul, Castle, and Branham can all make their own shot. I mean, that's 4 people if you have them all in the same time, so that's good. But defensively and just IQ, in my opinion, is not there. And he's had some time. I know he's still very young, but we're kind of on this timeline, in my opinion, where you have to, figure it out quickly because you want people to grow with Wemby. You want there to be a well-oiled machine where there's not a lot of change within the role players. So we'll see if Branham can fill that role. Next, we have Stephon Castle. I believe he's also an S-rated player on the Spurs. I think that he's Wemby's Pippen as of right now. Well, no, not as of right now, that he can be. So if Vassell can also compete for that spot, even better. There could be a big 3 with Wemby, Castle, and Vassell on the offensive end. So I'm very excited for that. And then defensively, oh man, I mean, Stephon Castle, I was a little hesitant whenever we drafted him, just to, the 4th pick in an overall weak draft. I was one of those people, right? Just like, what are we going to get? He's been he's exceeded expectations of anybody. So I think that we need to maintain his growth and secure him long term with Wemby. If there's two people that I think we need to really center our team around, it's the top two for the S right now. All right, so next we're going to have Harrison Barnes, and just a spoiler, that's it for the S's. That'll just be the two. Harrison Barnes is going to be a B. I think that he was a good signing. I think that he was he is essential to the growth of young players. But overall, offensively and defensively, I mean, he's good, but he doesn't really change the game for us. So whether he stays long term or not, it'd be cool. I'd be cool if he could be off the bench or something because he's a great player. But starting wise, I don't see him being long term with the Spurs. And I'm sure he still, he's 32 years old. He wants to continue to have a lengthy career. Next, we're going to go with Chris Paul. I think that Chris Paul is going to be an A rating. I love everything that Chris is bringing to the table in terms of mentoring our young players and really giving us a better winning mentality at both mentally and on the court. I think that Chris makes great decisions. He has had some struggles with shooting, or not really struggles, but he just hasn't shot a lot. He's turned the ball over at times, but that's obviously assimilating to a new team. I personally want Chris Paul to stay this year and next year, just for the opportunity to maybe win a championship, and two, with the youth that we'll be getting this year, potentially 4 draft picks. I think it's going to be essential for Chris to continue to mentor those guys who can be top tier talent, or maybe we package something together to get a really good pick or something like that, because this year's draft class, as we know, is exceptional. Last two, we're going to go with Harrison Ingram. I believe that he is. It's crazy that we have 2 players on our team named Harrison. I'm just crazy. So I have him as a B, just also a kind of a tweener with his size and ability. Not really a DL, not really a Mamu, but just not also small either. So we'll have to see with Harrison Ingram. I think that his G League potential will show us where he can go. If he's putting up numbers in the G League, I think that you give him a shot. But if it's kind of slow to progress, then you still monitor him, but we have to see improvement. And last but not least, this is probably the hardest one to admit, but Blake Wesley, you've been great, man. You are great. You're a great player, but offensively, you just kind of stagnate the ball, and you're a point guard. So I'm not really sure how that's supposed to work. But, who knows? If there's any person that I want to grow up this list, it's Blake Wesley. Sorry, Keldon, but Blake, you have great potential. Your ceiling is, in my opinion, a Gary Payton. But I don't know. We'll have to just see where you continue to go. All right, guys, so that is everything for today. I really appreciate you guys watching the video. Stay tuned for more content just throughout the week, throughout the year. This is rather new to me, so you can probably see some improvements as we go along, but I'm very thankful for you guys watching. Please hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. Share this with your friends. I'm one of the biggest Spurs fans you'll ever meet. I'm here in San Antonio, self-based, so just going to continue to give out content that is Spurs-centered. So whether you agree with my takes or not, I'm a Spurs fan. I want the team to win and do well. But anything that you guys maybe have a comment on in terms of my tiered system, let me know. I'm going to put it up there one more time for you guys again. Here's my tiered system one more time. Let me get my face out of the screen real quick. And here we are with it. Let me know what you guys think. If you have anything that you want to comment on, let me know. Super great to be making videos about the Spurs. Love you guys. Stay tuned for the next one. We will see you guys later. Goodbye.